Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bomber Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfella, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, man, back. Goodfella Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I haven't done one of these videos with, you know, we just rolling through the hood or rolling the Chili's. That's where I'm going. So, yeah, man, one of the guys on Twitter, my boy Irv, he shared a video from AB Boxing News, and AB Boxing News do some good work. He got some interviews, so it's good that a lot of the interview workers back getting those good interviews. And Sergey Derevyanchenko revealed, and I'll leave that tweet source in the description. Make sure y'all follow Irv. He a good follow. And y'all go check out AB Boxing News as well, too. He do some good work. You know, since he didn't have no subs, he been doing good interviews and stuff of that nature. So, Sergey Derevyanchenko said they ain't doing no drug testing right now for the Jermall Charlo fight. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support, man. And at the end of the day, it's been a lot of speculation about a lot of premier boxing champion fighters not doing no drug tests. I mean, you go back to Manny Pacquiao and Adrian Broner, and Broner had to complain to get drug tests. He said they agreed on USADA, and they wasn't doing nothing. So they end up doing VADA for like 3 or 4 weeks before the fight, and they didn't do a full camp. Pacquiao and Keith Thurman didn't do a full drug testing for a camp. Me and Town was the only people talking about that. And it ain't about being pro-black or being militant or nothing like that. We was like the only two like black channels that I could think of out of the ones that a lot of y'all watch that was pushing for Keith Thurman. Everybody was against Keith Thurman, and you know, kind of rightfully so. Keith Thurman, you know, lost a lot of fans by holding up the division. You know what I'm saying? And that's his prerogative, but I wasn't going for Pacquiao. You know, no offense to Manny Pacquiao, but a lot of his fans were just racist, and, you know, I'm going for Keith Thurman. You know, I thought Keith Thurman really would win the fight, X's and O's wise, but, you know, it was a close fight. Pacquiao got the dub, and I ain't taking nothing from him. Pacquiao showed his greatness one more time, but they didn't drug test for the full fight. But you know what? There was a waiver right there. Because, you know, Keith Thurman said, you know, he going to take it how he come. He acknowledged that there wasn't no testing in place until Boxing Scene broke that article 3 or 4 weeks before the fight. Then they did testing. You know, but Keith Thurman said he didn't care about no test. So I can't use that as an excuse for Keith Thurman. He knew what he signed up for. You know? So, you know, it's been several fights. I mean, Sean Porter and Earl Spence wasn't even on the VADA website, or they didn't acknowledge that fight on the VADA Twitter page. And usually VADA Twitter, I tweeted them, they'll hit you back or whatever. So it's not even known if they did VADA for that test. So premier boxing champion fighters are known for not doing VADA, bro. And they are known for continuing to pick up and give paired offenders chance after chance. Luis Nery, Luis Ortiz. I mean, there's a few more out there as well, too, that they got a chance and chance and chance again they work with. But, you know, at the end of the day, if Sergey Derevyanchenko ain't complaining about it, he would snack anyway. And Charlo ain't complaining about it. And you know what? I think the fans care more about the testing than the actual fighters, because I ain't lining up with nobody. If I ain't on no even playing field. And before Floyd started that even playing field shit, people weren't crying and complaining about random blood and urine tests. Now that Floyd innovate, that's something that's great in the sport of boxing. Absolutely he did. He sure did. They should have been had Olympic style urine and piss. So to be honest, you don't know how great a lot of fighters was, because they could have been on some shit that piss couldn't have detected. And whatever commission they did. So I think Floyd did what's right, but then again, a lot of fighters don't want to spend that additional money on the testing. You know, and the Charlos, keeping 100, the Charlos have been under the discussion of ped offenses or being on peds for a long time, and I defended them for a long time. And Stephen Bredman and J-Rock was the ones that started that, you know. Because what happened was, I'm going to just give you the origin while we ride. What happened was this, okay? J-Rock and Jermall Charlo was supposed to fight. And we all know they did fight. Now, Jermall Charlo was about to move on up to the east side, or to the north of middleweight. He was trying to decide, should he move up? Now, the fight, Charlo asked for an extension from the IBF, right? you know, obviously to see if he wanted to stay at middleweight. But what ended up happening was Jermall Charlo said he was legally blind. He got a medical exception for LASIK eye surgery. You can look this up, right? And through the whole build-up to that fight, J-Rock was talking a lot of shit. And I hope I don't sound repetitive because I said this story before, but it had been a minute since I said this story, so bear with me, right? And he was basically talking for the fight like, you on peds, you on peds, you on peds. It was revealed like in boxing scene he had LASIK eye surgery, and that's why he was, you know, had exception or extension before the J-Rock fight. So J-Rock dogged him out, basically, you know, accused him of being on steroids. I mean, he did. You know, Stephen Bredman said it and all this type of stuff. But you know what? Another reason they accused him of being on steroids is he refused to do the random drug test in the blood and urine, right? They didn't do it for this fight. And basically, after J-Rock got knocked out, they still accused Charlo of being on that shit. But, you know, for Charlo, you know, it turned out that he needed extension for eye surgery. And they said that he used the time to flush the shit out of the system, I believe. And then he refused to do the USADA or VADA they asked him to do. But then again, you got to remember, J-Rock was a challenger. But at the same time, if he didn't line up and he didn't want to do the drug testing, J-Rock didn't have to take the fight. Straight up and down. Al Haymon can make everything happen except for a drug test in that fight for J-Rock. But he was a challenger. And to be honest, Jermall was thinking about moving up anyway, besides getting in that ring, because I think he was having a hard time making the weight. You can see that in an Austin Trout fight. But, you know, so there is origin of where this come from. This ain't just come from fans, you know, saying he on some shit. Then you got Andrade accusing Earl of being on some shit. It's a huge speculation that the Charlo twins and Errol Spence are on that shit. Now, I've always defended them. You know, a lot of people say, you don't say nothing nice about PBC. That's bullshit. You know, and people pick and choose, and they want to gravitate towards the negativity. All I do is keep it 100, from my perspective. You know, I said Keith Thurman and Pacquiao was worth my $20. You know, it was worth $75. I praise Earl and Sean for putting on a great show. You know what I'm saying? But time and time again, people just say, oh, you just being negative about PBC. I'm just keeping 100. But people want you to take a hard side with one and diss the other. Me, I'm wherever the good boxing at. Whoever doing right or trying to boot a good show, I'm just going to give my honest opinion. If you don't like it, well, fuck you. Be honest. But that's kind of where the origin of that shit started at, right? And obviously you see how Jermall Charlo with the erratic attitude and, you know, and just, you know, kind of just being really, really moody, and maybe that's just the way that motherfucker is, right? So, Derevchenko, to the point, said that, you know, they ain't doing no drug testing, ain't no VADA right now. He did it for Triple G, and I think he said he did it for another fight or something of that nature. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We can talk about it all day and night. You know, if Derevchenko knew what he signed up for, Charlo knew what he signed up for. You know, if either one of them wanted to make the test happen, they should make it happen. But I simply think one of the reasons it boiled down is dudes don't want to pay that VADA fee. And it also came out that VADA doesn't do every drug test. Sometimes they do a third party that's cheaper to handle the drug test. And I just simply think with the taxes and you paying your coaches, your promoter fees, and, you know, you paying the cut man and all that, I simply believe that these dudes don't want to pay that high-ass USADA VADA fee. So if we being frank, maybe they need to stop, you know, doing USADA and VADA and just let the commissions handle the test. But it is mandated in Vegas that, you know, they fucking do VADA now, for I understand. So, I mean, things could be changing, but really, you know, especially you got sanctionable body fees coming out. So, you know, a lot of people say, oh man, this dude got $5 million in a purse. In actuality, that's not true. He might have to pay 20-30% in taxes. You got promotional fees. You got to pay your cut man. You got to pay your trainer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to, you know, it's a lot of different things that you got to pay. In actuality, he lucky if he bring home $2 million. You know, but PBC kind of been sneaky. Like, you don't really see on the VADA pages where they say they taking drug tests. But you know what's so funny? The other people across the street, y'all know I talk about the local dummy boxing community. You know, they just deem if they like you or not. And basically, if you with PBC, they'll cape for you for the most part. But one of the things I noticed when Shakur Stevenson, you know, what was his name, Joet Gonzalez, he no longer with his sister, by the way, for what I understand. You know, he was saying that Shakur refused to take VADA. He threw that rumor out there, and the local dummy box community ate it up. You know what I'm saying? They ate it up all the way up, saying, oh, Shakur ducking VADA, Shakur, you know, Shakur a cheater. But they ain't gonna say nothing about the Charlos missing the drug test. They ain't gonna say nothing about this Charlo not doing a drug test for Derevyanchenko. You know, but then they try for Derevyanchenko probably on something he would snack. I mean, he did a drug test for Golovkin and he tested negative all the way through. So have the Charlos and have Errol Spence and Pacquiao been getting the pass? That's the question you gotta ask. If we all about honorable, respectable boxing and being on the even playing field, it don't seem like PBC on the even playing field. And I've been telling y'all they ain't been doing no VADA, no USADA. Them motherfuckers lying, bro. Because I was asking about Sean and Earl. They doing VADA. I don't see it on the website. I don't see it on Twitter. I don't see it on their Facebook. And they say, oh yeah, we doing it, you doing it. Them niggas ain't did no VADA. They lying. PBC ain't doing no VADA, bro. Oh my mama, oh my hood. They ain't doing no VADA, bro. Real talk. Unless they fighting in Vegas. And if they is getting caught for tests, they sweeping that shit under the rug. There's a huge rumor going out there that Floyd then popped top for several tests. And I say rumor. These dudes always want to send you an email, defamation of character, and this, that, and the third. I got to make sure I use allegedly and all that, and rumor and all that. They be killing me on here, man. People say YouTube don't matter, but everybody got it. Everybody's sensitive about what's being said. You know, it's becoming a platform where, you know, I got to find me like Twitch or Caffeine or somewhere else to do my work because it's just getting out of control. You know, but at the same time, like I said, man, I don't think these PBC fighters tested. Maybe Deontay Wilder is having them tested, you know, for Tyson Fury. But yeah, my bad. They made me in my car and shit. But hey, man, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. You want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, PayPal description. Let me know what you guys think about this whole Charlo and, you know, Derevyanchenko stuff. I'll put the Twitter link in the description or the source link if you want to hear the interview. Shout out to Irv one more time on Twitter. Follow the link. Follow Irv. We gone.